Clubs face a number of challenges when it comes to maintaining their membership levels. However, during this latest economic crisis, both corporate and community clubs are having to deal with the challenge of losing members due to layoffs, financial stresses, and increased demands for their time. During this presentation, we will discuss how two clubs have faced those challenges and are even thriving in our current economic climate. We have a panel of 4 people that will give us their insights on how their clubs are surviving and became President's Distinguished in the 2008-2009 Toastmasters year. Our panelists are Carrie Radnoff, Vice President Membership, West County; Eileen Roth, President, Twin Rivers Wordmasters; Josephine Drummond, Vice President of Public Relations, Twin Rivers Wordmasters; and Richard Hawkins, Vice President of Education, West County Toastmasters. My first question for our panelists today: how has the economic downturn affected your club?
Though there is an international Toastmasters downfall right now, I do not believe that our club, Twin Rivers Word Toastmasters, Club 106008, has been affected. However, in saying this, if our club would be facing this struggle, we would continue to do a lot of what we've been doing. And that is always to follow the instructions that Toastmasters has provided to have a successful club. We would also keep the atmosphere that we have right now in our club, which is a very close-knit, energetic, joyful club meetings that we have, and we really are supportive of each other. I believe to be supportive to each other is very important in having a continuous flow upward and not running into these crises.
Well, our experience is that the membership and visitation is incrementing, but strangely enough, our longer-term members seem to be leaving the club. So the add-on to that, I guess, would be to ensure that you're meeting your current members' needs as well as trying to understand what your visitors and your new members' needs are.
I agree.
Next question: how did your club react to the loss of members?
Well, actually, Dan, we tried to focus on ourselves, using self-criticism as a matter of fact, to try to understand what it is that we may not be doing to provide the service that apparently our members and visitors were expecting. So we actually solicited them, but asked them specifically what they came to Toastmasters to do, because we found that there's a vast array of reasons why people came through the door in the first place, which was very interesting to know. And once you did know that, then we can adjust ourselves to ensure that those needs are getting met, and then follow up and ensure that that's happening in addition to the Distinguished Club program.
How do you track the goals of each member?
Well, actually, we write them down, and we have software that we track them in the notes. When we add a new member to the database, we have a side note facility that when is anything that we want to keep about that particular member, then we keep all of that information in the notes section of the membership entry.
You know, Dan, the most important thing to me in Toastmasters International is the willingness for Toastmasters to help. And we have found our help from when we needed it at our club, and for me personally, is through and by Toastmasters that are experienced. For example, there is the top 3, and that consists of the district governor, the lieutenant governor of education and training, and the lieutenant governor of marketing. We can always call on the top 3, as well as you, of course, Dan, you are one of my mentors, as one of the past district governors as well.
And if I could add something to that, we reached out to other clubs and tried to adopt a relationship where our members could travel to their club and understand how they operate and get a different sense of what Toastmasters is from someone else's perspective, which would enhance our own members' experience, which was okay, except for our nearest club was far away. It was sometimes difficult, so we tag teamed, and ultimately we were able to achieve at least some membership attendance back and forth.
Great,
That
great
was pretty
idea.
effective.
Another resource I think that we have used is TLI. Our members have done a great job of showing up to those trainings, and you talk to other Toastmasters, you get the training that's very excellent when you go. So that's another resource we've used as a club.
When your clubs lose a member, what do you do to rebound from that?
Well, we actually, during this whole time, our inquiries at the website have been up. And we have made a concerted effort to contact those people, get back to them as soon as they inquire, and, almost hold their hand right in through the front door. So that's how we're reacting to getting new members in. That's our strategy for that. Also, our whole club understands it's not just the role of VP membership to make a great experience for those people when they visit. We really have kind of a welcoming committee right there at the door, and we know their names. I try to keep a list so I have an expectation of who's coming and sort of brief people if I can. And then we provide value with our club meetings. We also have kind of gone an extra step and invited our former members to attend things like maybe a special event night. We had a backwards meeting. And so we try to mix it up a little, and that was very enjoyable. Also inviting former members to our contest. Recently we had somebody that enjoyed it very much, and we made it clear that that person wouldn't have a role. They could come, have a great old time. It was going to be a great contest, and so trying to reach out to them that way as well.
Tell me a little bit more about adding value to your meetings.
Well, we try to keep it light. We are a very accomplished club. We do follow all the parameters of Toastmasters, but we just really enjoy each other, and we know we're not just there to develop a skill, we're also developing relationships. We also I think one of the best things we did recently was flip-flop our agenda, so we have the prepared speeches first, and that way those speakers who are, you know how it feels, they can get that speech out of the way, and then we have a break and we go to the evaluations and the table topics. And what happens there is it's very obvious to the table topics masters then who has spoken and who hasn't, because we feel like everybody should get a chance to say something at every meeting. So even if they're a guest and they stand up, but if you take your time and you travel and you show up and then you don't have any role. So we've become very aware of the importance of having everyone speak at every meeting.
Though the Distinguished Club program does have end rewards, it is a journey more than it is a destination. How do you gain momentum to achieve President's Distinguished in a given year?
Well, I can start that. I would say lead by example. Ensure that the executive committee, at least, is hitting their marks in terms of their commitments to their speeches and the competent leadership manual and those kinds of things, so that it's always out in front, and we review the Distinguished Club program periodically to ensure that everyone is on board, that there's movement going, and that the expectation, of course, without oversaying it, is that everyone's participating and we're moving along. So that would be the one piece that I would add to that.
I think that's a great point. They see the people who they sort of perceive as leadership doing the very same activity that we're looking for them to do. And we also, once we had our committee meeting, and the Vice President Education provided us with just exactly where everybody was in their manuals. And so then we could project and make a plan. But then we brought it back to the club. And as you said, periodically reviewed it with them, but we got verbal commitments from people, and that makes all the difference. They hear themselves saying it out loud to their peers, and then we try to bring that up periodically so people are reminded, hey, go encourage him to do number 9.
And we do that actually through software, because we maintain what occurred at every single meeting in the database. So you can produce at any time whatever anyone has done and validate it with them in case they've been to other clubs or done things in the community that we don't know about as a database, and update those entries to keep the momentum going with the Distinguished Club program.
That's a very interesting point that you brought up about making sure that you draw in your members and ask them what they will commit to. It's almost like a goal-setting pledge drive, if you would. How has the reaction from how has been the reaction, or how has the reaction been from your members to that goal?
I think I mean, we don't have to browbeat them or anything. They're just enrolled, and it's for that. They see that banner up there with all of the ribbons, and they think, yes, we have that as a club goal.
Right.
And so people are. I think they hit it every time.
Well, they were a little tepid at first, but
Yeah.
once people stood up and made a commitment, the people followed up with it, realizing that it's okay to stand up and say, I'm going to make my CC by June 30th. And so as soon as some people started bucking up to it, then it seemed to float pretty well. People got the idea.
All indication is that our economy has turned, but many clubs and many organizations are still battling the crisis. Do you feel that your club has overcome the crisis?
You know, Dan, as far as our club, Twin Rivers Wordmasters Toastmaster Club, we're a church club, but we are also an open club. And people get on the Toastmasters.org, they get onto our website, and because we are in close proximity to their home or to their workplace, they come and visit us. So we've had a lot of influx from just the community as far as that goes.
Right.
And I appreciate your comment so much, Rich and Carrie, because I'm, as you know, you're the past area governor, and we were President's Distinguished Area, with your help, of course. But the thing is, we are different. Our club is quite different than yours. When you come in to our club meeting, you will see a distinguished club chart. You will see the competent communicator charts. You will see the competent leader charts. You will see the advanced communication series charts. You will see our banners as well as yours that has all the ribbons on it. But we also have a table that has our trophies. Even though we're a club that hasn't achieved our second year, we're going to have our second anniversary June the 18th this year, as we've already accomplished Distinguished Club, President's Distinguished Club, and we are on target for President's Distinguished Club now. What we're waiting on, of course, is June the 30th, and then we have to have our 20 minimum members, and we will already have attained that. So we've already achieved all of our goals, our 10 out of 10 goals. And the way we feel that we accomplish that is by, number one, having a club success plan thoroughly worked out. We know the people, like you said, they need to make a commitment. We need to have commitment from our members, because that C word is so very important. Because if the members do not have a commitment to themselves, because this is a self-development program, it's not what I would want you to do, Carrie, or Richard, or Josephine, or Dan, or even myself. It's what do you want to do individually? What is your goal? Like you said earlier, Richard, what is the members' goal? And then when they achieve that goal, their icebreaker speech, it goes up on the chart so everyone can see. And so we are very much acclimated to, because I am a very visual person, and so is Josephine, my Vice President of Public Relations. We need to see things. And we had